Hello, Wellness Check Wednesdays community. We wanted to take a moment to remind you that while our podcast serves as a safe space for open discussions and sharing experiences, we are not mental health experts. This podcast is a platform for you to express your thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a judgment-free zone. Our aim is to foster connection, provide support, and create a sense of community. It's crucial to acknowledge that we are not a substitute for professional mental health advice or treatment. If you or someone you know is dealing with mental health challenges, we strongly encourage seeking guidance from qualified professionals. Remember, reaching out to mental health experts can make a significant difference. If you ever feel the need, don't hesitate to connect with a licensed therapist, counselor, or healthcare professional.
This is the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast, a share space, a judgment-free zone, a place to meet and discuss our mental health. So let's check in.
Hey, hey, look, I'll throat punch him for you one time.
No, you won't. All right.
A time for the one time?
Yeah, no time for the no
Do
time.
the intro, B-Live. Do the intro.
Well. We have embarked
We're
on
gonna start over all the way. Okay.
episode 17 of the Wellness Check Wednesday podcast. As you already know, my name is Brian Livingston. I am the moderator here, try to keep things copacetic, but every now and again we go off the rails. And last week, that's sort of what we did, and I have no problem with that because sometimes scripts are for the week. We just go off the top of the dome, but this time we're gonna try to bring it back. We're gonna have a little bit of structure, just a little bit. But as you already know, this is a open and safe space for you to celebrate, cheer, vent, cry if you want to, all of the things to better our mental health. That being said, I'd like to introduce the originators of the Wellness Check Wednesday podcast, all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, by way of Lorain County, my man, Edwin Green.
Come on, springtime. I see you where you at with your funky self. Come on, springtime.
Groundhog ain't tell us nothing right. All right.
Sundresses.
He just lied.
Just lying all the time. All right. Also here in Fayetteville, North Carolina, by way of the Share Studios, I have my man Kevin Marshall.
What's happening with the cookout?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also in an undisclosed location here in Fayetteville, North Carolina as well, my man Joe Dab Aguirre.
Hey, undisclosed.
Oh, I'm glad to have the fellas here. Hopefully one of these days we're gonna have some more females in here. We gotta balance it out.
I like the way that sounds. I really do.
Saying we all need a little bit of help when it comes to our mental health. We want to be an open space that will be also inclusive to all that need it. With that being said, with episode 17, we're going to bring it back to a couple of topics, a topic each week. Every now and again, we'll go off the rails and go back to basics when it comes to our mental health. But this week, we want to talk about instant gratification, something that is near and dear to my heart because dealing with people that are impatient, you just want to take two hands and ring them around the neck because they want everything popcorn ready, push start, and all the things just delivered at them all at the same time. Patience used to be a virtue, just like common sense isn't that common anymore. My bad. I digress.
Whoa.
They sell common sense at the Best Buy now.
At profit and nobody's buying. All right. But yes, instant gratification. We have become a society that is these devices that we have in our hands, that we make phone calls with, that we now can do all of the other things, the social medias, your Instagrams and all the whatnots with you. You can all this powerful knowledge in the palm of your hand, and people instantly think that everything's supposed to be delivered that way. And that's sometimes, most of the times, not the case. But this episode is more of how do you deal with that? Because Father Time is undefeated. Each and every day we get older. There's not one but two generations now before that are behind us, and they didn't have the dial-up modem where you had to be off the phone to connect to the internet. They didn't have the cassette tapes and the CDs
And
that
the
you had
walk-ins.
and you had to change out just to hear a particular song. And even when it came to the mixtapes where you had to you heard the song on the radio and had to push record at
Yeah.
precise time and all the things. Oh, and especially if you want to have some music on your voicemail, oh, you had to have that thing right on point. So you had to exhibit some type of patience when it comes to certain things. But now
I had an Iowa,
you had a who?
AIWA boombox in my room.
Okay, I was like, you had an hour. You talking about
Yeah, man, I used to record Foxy 99. Number.
Number 110. Yeah, oh man, the
Oh,
top.
yeah.
Oh man, that's a throwback. Oh Lord.
Hey, yo, who got that? I had a Sony Ericsson phone.
Yeah.
I'm over here wondering. I was like, what are you talking about Des Moines like that? I thought you were talking about Iowa, the state. What do you mean you had an Iowa? What
Like,
are you
he
talking
wouldn't
about?
Iowa.
Be like,
Man, be like,
You know, thinking about that corn on the cob right now.
he said, we didn't have that where I came from.
I didn't know what the heck you were talking about, but it's okay.
he did, Joe. We just called it a stereo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he went
All the
and
same.
ran on me in Iowa, AIWA.
Ooh,
But yes,
I was
yeah, we're
bougie.
going down memory lane and nostalgia and everything like that. Shoot. I even remember where and I'm pretty sure each one of us has destroyed a computer at some point in time, downloading illegal music using Napster and
Ooh,
My.
I've never done that before at all. Never.
Yeah, whatever,
What is
Joe.
that?
Joe ain't come from the look. He ain't come from the struggle.
That's why Joe ain't showing his face on the camera. Me,
Oh no.
over here incriminating himself. But yes, as all of the devices that we mentioned, all of those now come included in these smartphones. Joe, didn't you just get you a new one, the Samsung S?
I instant gratified myself.
Yeah,
He got
did.
the Samsung
I couldn't wait.
26.
I said that was a new one and I had to have it. I bought it.
He had to have.
Done.
Is it what do you have that's included? Isn't Alexa included in the phone? Or
No. Actually, it's Samsung AI is included on the phone.
okay, so yeah, see,
That automatically does a bunch of stupid, crazy stuff that I didn't really need, but I wanted it.
of course, of course. So
Instant gratification, man.
he has built-in AI on his phone, so whenever he's offline, he still has AI. Yeah, and artificial intelligence isn't always that intelligent, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, it edits my pictures for me
What
on
okay,
the phone.
what do you need? What do you need photo editing software?
We gonna
for?
see Joe 6 foot tall diesel.
No. It's really cool, man. It's really cool. No, my point of bringing that up is it gives me a little bit of capabilities that are really unnecessary. But I needed it. But I needed it, man. I needed it. It was new. I needed it. I wanted to be the first.
You didn't need
Instant gratification. Instant gratification.
That's not even what I'm talking about.
Jesus.
Oh.
The instant gratification that I'm talking about, that you already know, is that we want answers quickly. We don't take the time to do certain things. And I'll even be more specific, even when it comes to our relationship status. When it comes to even just friendships in general, we've turned into
now nobody wants to build.
Yeah,
nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody wants to put in the steps to actually make it solidified to where it's built upon. It's a foundation. It has a foundation under it. Like my folks have been married for 40 something years. They had that foundation. They would be friends before they got married, before they were in a relationship.
And so, I mean, just in stuff like that, it happens in relationship. It happens in the workplace where like here's the crazy part. I see it even in the workplace where people that are looking for a job don't even go through the steps of looking for a job. They want to walk in and be like, "Oh, you're hired," and even with that, they don't even want to walk in because heck, everything's done on Indeed now. That you just put in your resume and you can send out your resume here, and there. And if you don't hear something within 24 hours, you give up and move on. And it's like, well, you might need to put in a little bit more work, a little bit more effort. I'm guilty of that myself at times. I'm like, there's certain tasks that I need to do that it's like, oh, that's going to take some work. And you know what? Yeah, I'll get to that later. And instant gratification turns into procrastination because it's like, yeah, I'm not going to get it done now. So I'll just push it aside and do it later. And I'll push it aside and do it later. And I'll push it aside and do it later.
It's like
And
a kitchen.
yeah, just like
Like the kitchen, he
someone's
said.
kitchen. Okay. It's not just your kitchen. Hey, the organization at my house is. I've had a I've had a toaster oven in a box for what? For X amount of time, and I've had it for almost a month. And
I know you're not over there eating no cold French fries.
no, I'll put my food in the oven, but that just like I have a toaster oven. I finally pulled that thing out yesterday, and it's the most beautiful invention ever made. My food was crispy, nice and hot, as opposed to in the oven. It takes a little bit more time, and then it ain't quite leveled, and you got to pull the rack out, do all kinds of. Again, what basically what I'm alluding to is that if I took the time
and took it out the box when you got it.
yeah,
Yeah.
life would have been so much easier, but that required effort.
So
that sometimes we just don't choose to do. And that's
right.
sort of like that push button society that we live in. Instagram, if it doesn't instantly satisfy me, if I got to put forth effort in it, then I'll say, you know what?
So
yeah,
I heard this quote earlier from one of Shia LaBeouf's podcasts, and it struck me as with this. Hold on, just got to restart it. So
joy was, oh, I get this and then I'm happy, or I do this and then I'm happy, or I get her and then I'm happy, or I make that and then I'm happy, or they respect me and then I'm happy. Or I always thought happiness was to be acquired by the things I would gain from life. That's why I was always grabbing. If I knew early on that happiness actually is in me offering all of my suffering up for other people as an instructive thing, or as something that could benefit man, then I maybe would have lived my life differently.
to what Eli was saying earlier, it struck me, and I wanted to look it up because I didn't want to quote it. I actually wanted it to play word from word, because one of the instant gratifications that like I myself deal with is like Eli said at the workplace. I did a good job. Oh, I want somebody to see this right now. I don't want to wait till somebody tells me. I want to feel good. I want to feel enlightened about myself. And it goes to one of those things that dealing with a general topic of happiness is we've sort of misconstrued it. We've sort of lost that thought of I want to be instantly happy. Like B said, dealing with a workplace, dealing with relationships, dealing with friendships, dealing with even family relationships, that it comes down to one of those points that what can I do to put in the work to build this foundation better?
Right. And to piggyback off that, as you know, I work in radio and I work in behind the scenes in radio, do the video live streams. Like whenever I have like a bomb broadcast or like I did the coaching shows 2 weeks ago, I'm looking like, okay, somebody gonna be, hey, you did a great job. You did a great job. And sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. I think I had a moment where in life as to where I didn't get that gratification, so I don't look for it. But there are times when I'm at work, I'm like, well, damn, I'm doing good too. Or there's been times I've applied for a job, I feel like I'm qualified, or the classic case of, hey man, I'll put in a good word for you, and we gotta wait for this person to get back to you. And then you see this person again, hey, did Jim get back with you yet? No. Well, I'll go put a bug in his ear. Then you go put a bug in his ear, and then I become an afterthought, and then I'm over here just having doubts like, well, what the hell's going on? But the instant gratification, and I can me and B Live, we run the Sports Bros podcast. There is not how I can't recount how many times that I have wanted us to be instantly successful from episode one.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
But I knew it took time. I know things take time, and that's where I want the gratification, but I think I've trained myself to not get that instant gratification. And it kind of, I ain't gonna lie to you, it kind of burns me up like, oh, hey, how's the podcast going? You should listen to it.
Well,
Like,
it also comes from a point too that it's another double-edged sword that we forget one important step dealing with this topic. Why do we look for other people's approval and other people's gratification when all it takes is for us to give ourselves a pat on the back?
exactly.
Well, one thing I'm gonna chime in on that because I wanna segue with what Edwin's talking about with our podcast. There's certain things at the end of the day in life, especially with business, stuff like that, where it's not necessarily that instant gratification, but we need some type of
Right.
gratification, In we just recorded episode 243 of the Sports Bros podcast. Over 5 years of work that we've put in. And I know, and the thing about it is, I think I could say this for on behalf of Edwin and myself. Of course, we want to be more than what we've done.
Oh yeah.
You think of 5 years of work, we want to be, we want that name to be known,
Right.
especially in our local neighborhoods. Yes, I have a conversation with a friend of mine, my boy Tristan. We have a conversation every Monday because he's an avid listener, and I love that. I appreciate that. But I would love to have 100 more Tristans for the amount of episodes that we put out.
Exactly. I feel it. Just
And
like I
so,
think, I'm sorry, but I think like me and Tony Bogan, we talk from time to time. Shout out to Tony Bogan. He's an avid listener. Just like as much as you want 100 Tristans, I want 150 Tony Bogans. You know what I'm saying?
and so we rack our brain trying to figure out what is the next step.
Right.
And that's where like instant gratification sometimes sometimes it is rewarding because you want to see something.
Oh yeah.
Especially for the minimalist of efforts,
Yeah.
Of course, at the end of the day, I think this is a majority thing that we can speak of. Hard work is hard work. But sometimes, hey man,
Hard work.
let me just see the let me see some.
Right.
I mean, what I'm saying?
And now I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, but it also goes into the token of that old famous tale that sometimes the best things are the undecided and unexcused steps of not knowing. Like sometimes it is, whereas others, like I agree with you, B. Like I'm definitely not disagreeing because it does come to a point to where it's like, damn, I didn't put in this much hard work. Damn, who's listening to me? Damn, is anybody hearing it? Damn, is anybody paying attention? Like, besides just the one person of who you said and the one person who had said, like, it I don't know. I just went brain blank.
It happens.
Well,
I get.
it's.
Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it's definitely that. I mean, you don't get gratification for accomplishments or work progress you're putting in, and you don't get the level of gratification that you deserve. You know,
Speaking about
it
gratification,
it doesn't motivate you to continue on when putting in the work. I mean, that's plain and simple. And then
and
you
then
get stuff that's instant gratification. Once you get the instant gratification, you're like, all right, I'll do that because it's a dopamine hit. Boom,
Oh,
got it.
dopamine, definitely.
Yep. And then sometimes on the back end, it's kind of like, okay, I think I'm doing something good. I think I'm doing something good. And then sometimes, if you're like me, you get a lot of things going on, and then you're being told, hey, man, you got a lot going on, and you have to focus what's important. But in a sense, as far as that statement goes, everything I do to me is important because I'm looking at the long game and not the short game. The
Right.
short game, I get it, but that long game is really what I'm looking at.
You're looking at all 4 quarters. And speaking about gratification, I'm gonna go back a few weeks to a conversation me, Joe, and B Live had. Joe, how's them time cards looking? Did you get it yet?
I could tell by the sound of his breath.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm
Tell me
hating
something
it.
good.
I'm hating it, man. Fucking sucks.
Tell me something good.
Sucks. What do you mean?
Did
Yeah, are
get
you
them
getting to
time
work
cards?
on time? Are you filling out your time card?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
There it is. That's all I want to hear.
It
right
sucks, man. It
there.
sucks.
Yeah.
Because but I mean, and here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna give you this one. I'm gonna just say
But before you give us this, we're actually going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back to a little bit more of the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
All right, we're back after that quick commercial break. It would be nice to actually have a commercial in there. So if you want to sponsor the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast and have your company on our podcast, let a brother know. Hit me up. Email address brian@thesharestudios.com. That's brian@thesharestudios.com. And we're going to continue to talk about instant gratification and how it affects our mental health. I'm going to pass the mic over to Edwin Vereen. He's going to give us a little insight on instant gratification.
All right, and as always, I've taken some time to do some research and find some reading. And the moment B Live told me what the topic was, I immediately went to work. Today's reading comes from Psychology Today, which is a very good site to check out some stuff. And it says the real issue with instant gratification, and it is reviewed by Devin Fry, and it was posted on the September 14th, 2019. The term instant gratification has become a fixture in the modern lexicon. Examples are everywhere in our food, entertainment, online shopping, and even dating. You ain't lying about that. Have even been engineered to make it incredibly easy for us to obtain whatever we want in an increasingly short order. Having our desires quickly met isn't necessarily a bad thing, but as it pertains to the spread of quick fix solutions in the digital age, there are several reasons why certain instant gratification fueled impulse behaviors may be detracting from our health and quality of life. To start, we need to appreciate how they influence our brains. Our brains are constantly changing in response to what we do to things while we pay attention to. For example, each time we impulsively eat an unhealthy snack or buy something online, our brain pathways for those actions are reinforced and strengthened, making it easier to fall into the same patterns the next time around and hard to break the cycle. Real quick, I haven't had a bag of gummy worms in about a month.
Woo.
I am not going to lie to you. And that the gummy worms was an impulse buy because I love my sugars, but for health reasons of my own, and I have to stop. All right, so to continue reading, this is worthy of consideration because many of the activities that promote instant gratifications are linked to unhealthy behaviors. Buying packs of gummy worms throughout the week is one of them.
Okay. We're gonna have to talk about it. We'll get. I'll pass it back to you in just a moment. But
Okay.
I mean, with this mental health and everything, and with our physical health being linked into mental health, this has been a very healthy podcast. But what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna come after my gummy worms. Like this.
I'm talking about me. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about me.
Surprised.
he identified.
I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta give up gummy worms in order to no.
Hey,
I resemble that remark.
Giving up a lot of things.
Safe space.
But
Yeah.
I can't do it. I got gummy worms waiting for me right now. We're at karaoke tonight. I look forward to my gummy worms.
Are they the trolley gummy worms, Brian?
It's whatever. It's
The Black
whatever.
Forest.
It's whatever.
They are free gummy worms.
The best
It is
ones.
what it is. Whatever Kelly leaves me from the night prior. She always
And there I
brings
was.
snacks, and I always take snacks. It's not my bad. My bad. You hurt my feelings with the gummy worms, but go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
boy, I
It's a
struck a
safe space, Ed. You just touched a nerve.
just like that. Back to the article says this is worthy of consideration because many of the activities that promote instant gratification are linked to unhealthy behaviors. Over time, the ability to quickly satisfy a desire for low quality disease inducing foods takes a real toll on our bodies. And then also, divulges into making purchases and everything and how many times you check your social media, so forth and so such. When it comes to instant gratification, for me, I'm very impatient. Like we mentioned before the break, we have a podcast, the Sports Bros podcast, which you can check right now on Google, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon Music, wherever podcasts are available. We've been at it for a very, very long time, and I think it's time for us to go ahead and turn that corner. And, make a little bit of money off of it. So that way, we don't have to have 9 jobs and have undesirable jobs and be in positions where, okay, well, I gotta work because if I don't work, I ain't got no food coming in. So for so long, I've been getting thrown ideas and sometimes reverting back to the support that turns into the chatter, that turns into the noise, and then everybody's like, "Hey man, you got a lot going on, man. You got to focus on what's important and all that." And like I said, in the grand scheme of things, to me, everything I do is important because not only is the fact because I love it, but I believe at the end of the day, or the end game is to make a little bit of money off of it. So that way I can just hey, I can turn on this mic, we can talk a little bit of stuff, bombard social media, and have fun with it. Right. So, and then sometimes like I wake up like, oh man, I wish it was this, I wish it was popping like this, I wish it was popping like that. And then sometimes the worst thing you can do is watch other podcasts on social media and look at how long they've been doing it for like a short amount of time, and then how long you've been doing it, maybe 3.5 year head start, and then start comparing their numbers to your numbers. And I am guilty of that, but I told myself, look, you have a unique product, you have unique talent and skill. That's them, let them do what they do. They might have that instant gratification, or as I see, like 2 years in your podcast blowing up. To me, that looks like instant gratification, but I could be wrong. As opposed to me, like wanting that instant gratification, but the road is a little bit longer. And I saw a quote the other day. It says it's about success. It says the road to success is full of potholes, detours, U-turns, and everything. But no matter what you do, you got to stay on the highway. So when it comes to instant gratification, that's what keeps me grounded, because there's been times I've been guilty. Okay, I'm gonna post this picture. I said, let me see how many likes I got. Old girl saw me in a suit for the first time. Yeah, let me see how many likes I got. But I just, you know what I'm saying? So it's just things of that nature. But like I've and it has made an impact on my mental health, because I have a tendency to overthink too much. And when I overthink, I'm at my least. I'm not productive at all. Don't even ask me to hold water, because I can't do that either. But I just learned, like, over these last few years, it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's chess. It's not checkers. And so that's what keeps me grounded.
I was gonna say, but before the break, we were talking about something. Is it too much to get my gratification to talk about it?
We're talking about your time card in your kitchen.
Yeah. Is it too late to interject?
No, absolutely not. Hey,
Oh.
we still on the air. Talk.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So there we were. Time card, blah 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 blah. A few weeks back, maybe a month two back, we talked about this. Basically, I've been on the straight and narrow, doing my thing. It hurts. It hurts. I'm not getting gratified from from this. But guess what? So is life.
Doing your job.
That's what you got. That's what you got to do. I mean, that is what it is, right? what I was having trouble with is like other people get gratification because they aren't doing the right thing, you know, and they're reaping the rewards, they're benefiting, from it. And it's certain people get gratification, other people don't, you know. I don't know if that's even the right word, but
It makes sense.
I know, and I get
other
it.
people get away with it.
Yeah.
People get away with things, and they get gratification through that, right? When other people can't. There's favoritism, all that kind of shit. It is what it is. But
And
what I
yeah, go ahead. I'm
what I
sorry.
was gonna say was what I do get gratification from is I get gratification from a job well done, because being there till time, you know, I have picked up a few things that I wouldn't have gotten till the next day, and that is gratifying. That, hey, I actually got. If I wasn't there, I wouldn't have had that conversation, or I wouldn't have been there to answer that question, and that could have been, critical. You know, so in a way, it does tie into this a little bit.
Well, one thing I wanted to say to you, Joe, is there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with the way you feel about that, because we do live in a society where, to be honest with you, we see the dumbest of people find instant fame. Let's see. I mean, I see on my Facebook feed every day a guy that's going to lose his foot to diabetes, shaking his belly, dancing to some Eastern Indian freaking music, and he's worth $50 million just for shaking his belly. And I'm over here like, I got a belly too, but ain't nobody gonna. We see it all day, every day on social media, where influencers and people that don't really have any skills whatsoever, but all they did was make one funny video.
Be like, that's perfect for you.
Ta-da! Instant gratification. Eddie Cool. You weren't supposed to laugh at that. I know I didn't hear, but I saw you lean back, and
I had to stretch my neck and my back.
you know what? I'm not gonna do that. But
I was thinking about it while he was talking. While Ed was talking, I was thinking about some things. Like, there are some really good points that we make. I'm talking 30-second clips of someone speaking, and those points would go heavy in a clip.
right, and
I'm just saying, and gratification wise, like, so let's talk that, right? If someone from this podcast, not naming no names, put in that work that he's already doing and just found a highlight of the talk and put that as a post and said to his friends, I need you to share this. That's it. I don't need you to share the entire podcast, all stuff. If you like this, you'll love the whole podcast. Get this taste. I need you to taste this crack so you can get hooked.
He said, get this taste.
First one's free.
So in other words, more work for me. All right.
Yes. Put the work in so you can get that gratification that you just spoke about. You just spoke about the reason why he did. They get that.
I'm going to send you the raw footage. I'm going to let you handle that.
You know what?
Be Live, I'm willing to help. I'm willing to help.
No. I'll tell you this. Yes, I need to do more on my end. You're absolutely right, because I got 200.
I think you're doing a great job, man.
I got 243 episodes of the Sports Bros podcast. Everyone keeps sending me the videos of it, and I'm over here like, I saw it today. I'm like, God, I know. I gotta. I'm working on
and the thing about that is, Be Live, I know I have to do, my end too, because I'm like, okay, well, looking at your schedule, there's nothing really going on in high school sports. I don't know what you're gonna do with baseball or lacrosse, but while you're not doing that, you can do this.
Look, I don't think you guys got my point. You guys are focusing on Be Live, right?
No, I see what you mean.
I know exactly what. Joe. Here's the thing.
I'm talking about our viewers out there in the ether, right? I'm talking about the ether guys.
You want to get this taste. That's what it is.
I'm talking about instant gratification versus gratification. They will be gratified to watch this wellness check every week. They will be rewarded. They will identify with this stuff. They will benefit in ways unimaginable because we don't know what everyone's going through, right?
Right.
But they're not going to do that until they get that instant gratification from Be Live, the dealer.
So Be Live's the hope dealer, Joe? That what you're saying?
He is the instant gratification dealer. He has to give them the taste.
I don't have to do nothing but stay black and die.
And pay your taxes, son. Pay your taxes.
What you're not gonna do is something I have to do. No, yeah. To all of the listeners,
but this is going back to your the thing you just talked about. That guy's success.
I absolutely want
his
to grow
success is based on him giving the people what they want.
This is a safe space created by all of us.
So saying get cussed out over here, giving me more work to do. I'm like, hey, I'm trying.
You're already doing the work. I know you find a part.
This is a safe space. FYI, to all our listeners, thank you for listening.
We appreciate you guys.
Yes, Joe,
we're striking them up.
Joe, you are absolutely right, and I will definitely do my best to try to divvy out more of my time to give
next week. I want a clip. I want a preview. I want a 30-second clip.
This mother.
That's it. That's all I want. I just want that.
Joe, you're going to get throat punched. You better.
and you know, Be Live got them.
I got this. I got this. Hold on a second. I got this.
You better did it now, Joe.
I want you to look at me dead in my face when I tell you, yes, I'm going to instantly gratify my hand around your neck the next time I see you over here talking about you want this and you need. Okay, I see how this is gonna go. Oh, all right, I had to get that out the way. I do. I promise you, this will be. I'll make this video happen.
Joe, he gonna hit you with one of these.
This is going back to the one I want to do next week. I want to talk about accountability.
Mm-hmm. So here's one thing I want everyone to understand. Joe, you're absolutely right. And it will definitely help with growing the podcast. It'll definitely help with growing the studio and all of the whole 9 yards. And I will do better about divvying out my time. I need to set aside time. I need to schedule my calendar a little bit more. But yes, I got it. You're not the only one that's asking of me to do a lot. And it's not a lot, but here's one thing I'll tell you. And this may be an excuse and maybe something that everybody could take a completely different way. The way my brain operates when it comes to any product that I put out there, I overthink everything. Something that would take the average person 30 minutes to an hour to produce, it would take me after 3 hours because I'm there, man. Put that extra flair. And so sometimes I do. It is a internal flaw of mine, and this is a safe space. It's an internal flaw of mine that I don't start or don't finish things because I know that it's going to take me more time than I actually have given myself to do.
But if I don't put out 100 effort, I don't want to even put it out.
Right. And so it's one of the things where I've gotten myself bought. I've literally got myself into quicksand when it comes to projects. And next thing you know, the day is gone. Something that should have taken me 2 hours. I should have did this, and that. I'm like, okay. And so
like my kitchen.
Yeah. And so I will say this, and I will commit to Ed, I will commit to Kevin, I will commit to you, Joe, that I will put forth more effort when it comes to the Wellness Check Wednesday podcast. Giving it a little bit more insight, giving it a little bit more.
You don't gotta do it for us.
But
you gotta do it for yourself.
This ain't my podcast. Have you not realized that? I'm just the moderator.
Yeah, Joe, this was me and Ed's baby.
No, this is you three of you guys. This is the three of you guys.
He over here now. He telling us who. You know what?
I mean, I don't mean. I'm just saying.
Hey, Be-Live, that sound familiar?
Gonna come over here and tell us.
You guys are the founders, man.
I'm not. See, here's the thing. I'm the facilitator.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are sorry.
That's a representation of you.
Now hashtag do better. And you don't even know about that hashtag because you don't listen to the other program. You know what? I'm so
You know what?
Mhm.
I was mistaken. See?
Hey,
mistaken.
hey,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I wasn't there in the founding. You know, I have problems with being on time, so I don't show up all the time.
I am the facilitator. I do have the raw footage. So yes, at some point in time, what I can do, I just realized what I can do is I can give everybody access to that raw footage because it is on our Google Drive.
It sure is. Okay, well,
So,
say no more. I got you.
So I'm gonna redirect. What I was saying because all I gotta do is change the name. One of you two need to take some load off of BeLive and put together a 30-second clip.
I'm gonna hire you, Joe.
You guys say no. Hold on. Let me. I'm trying to work for you. You got me all redirected. Now I'm trying to help you. Hold on.
Let me put
you
this
all need to figure out.
Wait,
best 30 seconds of the clip.
Dictate.
Wait. Let me put some clarification on this, Joe, because you got misdirected again. BeLive is the facilitator. I am one of the foot soldiers out here pushing our word out, pushing our good name out, pushing our safe space out.
He is a technical guy.
I'm not a technical guy. You got misdirected.
See, you just misunderstood me in this misdirection. I said you need to figure out 30 seconds worth of it. 30 seconds worth of the podcast that is worth clipping. That's all you gotta do. And then you send it to BeLive.
Okay,
Ed. Well, in other words, instant gratification. I feel BeLive's Amtrak energy through the podcast. Just try to
see. Woo!
I feel BeLive's Amtrak energy all in Fayetteville.
How's his blood pressure look, Kevin?
Oh, my blood pressure is fine.
6,500. No, but BeLive, but no,
over 9,000.
No, but for real though, it's just it's a group effort. I fully understand it, and instant gratification, and just like I said earlier, when you put things out, like Joe says, gotta get that good taste. They want that good taste, and so, like with us being in this podcast or this podcast space, we want to. I forgot the exact number of podcasters, but it's a couple 100 million, and it's just for. Like I tell people, I said, how many episodes you got? 243 episodes. Damn. I said, yeah, man, we just own it. You got to stay consistent because there's sometimes where you're going to get that gratification down the road, and sometimes you're going to get an instant gratification where we're like, I think we put out a bomb episode, or anything you've done in life, like, I had a good week at work, and then when you don't get the instant gratification, you start questioning and you start second guessing. And from a mental health standpoint, that in a way, that's what kind of affects me the most, because like every day I'm always waking up. How can I make all my podcasts better? How can I make all the podcasts better? I can do this, I can do that. But guess what? I got to go to work here. I got to do this. I got to go to the gym. There's 24 hours in a day. I've been up since 5 o'clock. I got to take a shower at 9, be out of the house at 10, be to work at 11:30. Then work my shift from 11:30 to whatsoever. And then I come home. It's kind of like, but it's just, it's just finding the time to make it happen. It is a grind, but it's more like a labor of love. So, whenever somebody tells me to listen to the podcast, that's a form of instant gratification, because damn, you took the time to listen to the podcast. And when people tell me to listen to the podcast, I'm like, oh, you did? Oh, wow, you listened to the podcast. I'm not in the face of it, but I'm, oh man, you listen to the podcast. Did you like it? And just kind of like, just asking questions. But then again, like Kevin said,
Dopamine's just going to town. Dopamine.
Yeah.
Just, woo.
Yeah, dopamine just woo, looking like Kurt Angle on that one picture. But yeah, it's the thing about instant gratification, it's tricky. It's tricky because like I just received my 10-year anniversary pen recognition and $150 gift card from my day job. And there's sometimes I feel like I don't get the gratification from management, but I get that gratification from my guest. A real quick story. This lady came in, I think it was late last year. Her family came in to celebrate, and they celebrate the fact that she defeated cancer. And so with me losing both parents to cancer, it kind of hit home with me real hard. So I was like really going above and beyond and everything just because I wanted to make her happy. And at the time there was some other things going on the work, on the work side that wasn't really like in my favor, or I was just, to make a long story short, I was fucking up. Okay. I was fucking up. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that moment of instant gratification when that woman and her family came in was that dopamine was it is again, that dopamine was running. And then on top of that, the lady came in the next day and gave me a card and gave me some extra money because she felt like, hey, I don't think I tipped you enough. And I was like, I wish I had my server book in here now because she wrote me a very heartfelt card. It was very sweet. And then that moment of instant gratification fueled me to go. Instead of like, okay, well, you didn't get it from it's kind of like, it's a classic case of you being a basketball player or a stellar athlete and you want that gratification. If the coach really don't get it from you, if you don't get it from the coach, you can get it from your teammates. You can get it from the members of the media. Like everybody is going to give you that gratification, but you're looking for that gratification from one place, the coach. But I know I went on a rant, but yeah, that's how instant gratification has that effect.
And so, yeah, and it has so many different effects in so many different ways. Like we see examples of it all the time. And essentially that's where it's essentially how to deal with it, how it affects our work, how it affects our play, how it affects our interactions, how it affects our relationships. There's a lot that is entailed. And that's why more than anything, I'm thankful for this episode. I'm thankful for what we've talked about. I'm still going to punch Joe in the throat, but it's okay. With that being said, Zoom is doing that thing, and it's not necessarily where Zoom is doing that thing. This is going to be a much longer episode than normal because of the 2 pieces, whatnot. But it was good to talk with you fellas and everything like that.
Yes.
And we're going to continue to go down this journey together. We're going to continue to grow together. We're going to grow this podcast together and all different things that we do, whether we get instant gratification or not. We're going to continue to be on the grind. So to all of our listeners out there, we appreciate your time. Again, it's always an open space that you can join in. You don't even have to worry about whenever, however, but just we want you to participate with us. We are on a mental health journey together, and on every Wednesday and any other time that you need it, please and always, let's
check in.
See y'all next week, and we out. Yes, sir.
Out like a busted street light.
Crack.
Thank you for listening to the Wellness Check Wednesdays podcast. Please join us every week, Wednesdays on Zoom at 6 p.m., and join our Facebook group for updates and to participate. We care about your mental health, so let's check in.